Bonjour Year 8. So today we are starting our first lesson of our new topic, which is all about talking about school. So today we're going to be learning about les matières, which are subjects. So if you have your book at home, you can put today's date. It'll be different depending on your class. You can put chez moi, which means at home rather than en classe, and the title les matières, subjects. If you don't have your book at home, you can either write those into a Word document or PowerPoint, or you can write it onto paper. It's up to you. So by the end of our online lesson today, you're going to learn up to 12 school subjects. Some of you might know 6 off by heart by the end, some of you 8, some of you maybe even 12. And we all should be able to say what subjects we like or don't like by the end of today's lesson. So these are going to be the subjects we are learning today. And I want you to have a think about how many you know en anglais. First of all, we're going to practice the pronunciation. So I will say the French and you need to repeat at home after me. If you want to go back and hear any again to double check you're saying them correctly, then you can. Okay, so we've got le théâtre. So this isn't pronounced theatre. Try it. Le théâtre. Le gallois. So think about the number 3, toi and poisson, that wa sound when we have oi. Le gallois. Le français. So you should be repeating these after I say them. Le sport. Or they also call it le PS. We'll talk about what that stands for after. Le PS. Le dessin. La technologie. La géographie. La religion. La musique. L'instruction civique. L'instruction civique. L'instruction civique. L'informatique. So notice with both of those, IN in French, it makes an A sound. L'instruction, l'informatique. And we've got the E joined to the A. L'in. L'anglais. L'histoire. L'espagnol. L'allemand. Les sciences. Les maths. So again, the TH is pronounced as a T sound. Théâtre, les maths. We've got lots of silent things on the end in French, remember, as well, so like our S's. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is to write out these French in your book as a list, just down the page. Or you can type them out in Word or PowerPoint, wherever you're working. Or if you prefer, you can copy and paste them from the attached slideshow below. But obviously if we write them, they help stick better in our heads. So as you're writing, notice that they're grouped differently. We have all the ones that start with le, la, l'apostrophe, and les. Hopefully you can remember that these are split into le is the masculine word for the, la is the feminine word for the, l'apostrophe is another word for the before a vowel or a H, and then les is the plural word for the. So in French, when we're talking about subjects, we have to have the word the with each one. Sounds a bit strange to us in English. We don't say, I like the drama, I like the Welsh, but we need to in French. So as you write, you could colour code that these are masculine, feminine if you want, but you don't have to. To remember which ones are feminine, the ones that end in E, if they don't look exactly like an English word, tend to be feminine. That one looks almost exactly like the word theatre. That's why it's masculine. Some of them just don't fit the pattern, although ion words always tend to be feminine. So although this starts with l'apostrophe, it is a feminine word, but we don't say la instruction because there's a vowel there, so we say l'instruction. So histoire would be feminine, these are masculine. And then les sciences and les maths are plural. There is more than one type of science, biology, chemistry, physics. There is more than one type of math to discover at A-level. So that's why we have the plural word for they. So make sure you write down the French. If you want to write the English next to any you are 100% sure about, you can. But next we'll go on and check the English. So pause the video as you're writing and take as long as you need. And pause when you've written out all the French. Okay, so now we're going to check the English that you've written next to any you decided to write down. Or if you haven't written the English, this is what they all mean. And you need to pause the video and make sure you've written down all the English with the French. So the masculine ones first, we've got drama, le théâtre, le gallois is Welsh, le français is French, le sport is PE, and this here, EPS, stands for Éducation Physique et Sportive. So in other words, physical and sporting education. Le dessin is art, la technologie, TT, la géographie, geography, la religion, RE, la musique, music, l'instruction civique, PSE, l'informatique, ICT, l'anglais, English, l'histoire, history, l'espagnol, Spanish, l'allemand, German, les sciences, science, obviously les maths is maths. So make sure you've written out the correct English, and make sure as well, if we have a look at these ones here, what do all these 5 subjects have in common? So they are all languages. In English, we have to always have a capital letter on languages. So if you wrote something like I like French in English, although French is in the middle of a sentence, it's a language, so it has to have the capital letter. In French, that's not the case. They do not have capital letters, no matter where the word is. You would never have it straight at the start of a sentence because it would have le there. Okay, so whenever you're writing a language in English, capital letter, but not in French. Once you've checked all your English and written down all the correct English next to your French, then unpause the video again and move on. So now we're going to check our memory of a few of these and practice the pronunciation a little bit. So there is one missing off here, which is, anybody, let's see if you can spot it. It's la musique. So from now on there'll be 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 missing. I want you to pause the video and say the French out loud for the ones that are missing, and then unpause to check. Okay, so qu'est-ce qui manque? What's missing? So when you're ready, hopefully you noticed that it was, and you said in French, l'histoire, so history, l'histoire, and la géographie. Okay, next one. Okay, so the ones missing here when you're ready. Les sciences, le théâtre, l'informatique. It's not informatique, l'informatique. Okay, the next one's what's missing. Qu'est-ce qui manque? So when you are ready, unpause. And they are la religion, le dessin, l'anglais, English, because that is a famous writer, hopefully you know who that is, le sport, and les maths. Okay, so far we've achieved our first objective, to be able to recognise and understand vocabulary on school subjects. So can we recognise 12 school subjects? So the other thing we wanted to be able to do by the end of today's lesson is say which subjects we like or don't like. So we have this question here, qu'est-ce que tu aimes? So this means, what do you like? Qu'est-ce que tu aimes? Try saying that. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes? So maybe you remember from before Christmas, because some of us had the chance in lesson, we had depending when your last lesson was, to learn how we say I like, j'aime. So try that, j'aime. So you don't say Jamie or anything like that, it's j'aime. Okay, so we're going to say I like art, we need to say j'aime le dessin. You've got your subjects in front of you. We need to keep that word the with it for it to make sense. I don't just say j'aime dessin. We need to keep that word le. J'aime le dessin. How would you say I like Welsh? Pause and try that. It's j'aime le gallois. And now say out loud in French, I like history. J'aime l'histoire. Okay, tricky one to say, that one, l'histoire. What do you think then the question, qu'est-ce que tu n'aimes pas, means? So what do you not like, or what don't you like? Because we put a ne and a pas either side of anything to make it negative. So I don't like, je n'aime pas. Now, surely none of us are going to say this, of course, but I don't like French would be je n'aime pas le français. So how would you say in French, I don't like science? Yeah, so in other words, you're saying, I don't like the sciences. Je n'aime pas les sciences. I don't like PE. So we should have said, je n'aime pas le sport, or je n'aime pas le PS. Then we have, qu'est-ce que tu adores? So this looks a bit like the English word adore. If you adore something, you love it. What do you love? So j'adore, let's try that. J'adore. So I love music. Music would be j'adore la musique. So how would you say I love science? So I love the sciences, or I love science. J'adore les sciences. I love DT. J'adore la technologie. Good. And the last question, qu'est-ce que tu détestes? So you might know this word in English. If you detest something, I detest football or whatever it is, it would be I hate it. What do you hate? So je déteste, I hate. And then if we wanted to say I hate maths, it'd be je déteste les maths. So how would you say I hate IT? So we'd have je déteste l'informatique. Okay, super. So to give opinions on subjects then, we simply take whatever opinion it is. J'aime, you could add a beaucoup to it. J'aime beaucoup, I like a lot. J'adore, je n'aime pas, je déteste, and simply put the subject straight after. Do not remove that word for the. So what would this mean? J'aime beaucoup l'espagnol, mais je déteste l'anglais. Pause and have a think about what that sentence would mean. Okay, so hopefully you worked out j'aime beaucoup, I like a lot, Spanish, or I like Spanish a lot, but I hate English. So what you're going to do is write some sentences like this now, comparing subjects. So you're going to write down the subtitle mes opinions, my opinions. Using these phrases on the board and the subjects you've written down, you're going to write a short paragraph to say the subject you like, don't like, love, and hate. We should get to a minimum at least 20 words. So it should be 20 words or more. And to do that, you need to use these higher level languages, these link words, so you can compare. So you can say something like, I like a subject, but I don't like another. Or I like something and something else. I like French and English. Also, I like whatever it is. I love PE, however, I hate drama and I also don't like art. Something like that. So all in French. 20 words or more, so pause the video now and take the time you need to write this out. Next lesson, we'll be learning how we add on reasons to this. So I like French because it is interesting, fun, easy, whatever. So if you want to add on any reasons today because you are confident with using because it is, that we did with our last topic, and maybe you know some reasons that you could fit with this, then by all means add on some reasons, but it's what we'll be focusing on in the next video lesson. Okay, so by now you should have paused the video and written down your short paragraph to say what you like and don't like and so on. So now we're going to do an exercice de écouter. You've spoken a bit of the subjects to me, repeated it back, or you should have. We've read some of the sentences online, you've written, and now we're going to listen to some. So wherever you're working, on paper or online, write down écouter, And there are 10 questions, 1 to 10, that we're going to be listening to. So for each question, you're going to listen to the matière, the subject they're talking about, and their opinion on it. You need to write down the subject they talk about in French, and then you can just put a smiley face or more to show their opinion. So if they say j'aime, I like it, we can put 1 happy face. If they love it, j'adore, 2 happy faces. Don't like it, je n'aime pas, 1 sad face. Hate it, 2 sad faces. Okay, so write down écoutez 1 to 10, pause the video now, and when you're ready to start the listening, unpause and we'll go for it. Okay, so here is the answer to the first one. The subject they're talking about is la musique, and they don't like it. So let's listen to that.
Tu aimes la musique?
Non, je n'aime pas la musique.
So she said, the lady asked, tu aimes la musique? Do you like? Tu aimes, you like music. Tu aimes la musique? And he said, non. So no, je n'aime pas la musique. So we can fill in the answers number 1 together. And that's what you're going to write for 2 to 10. A subject in French and then the faces. I'm going to play each one twice, but as this is a video, if there are any that you'd like to hear again, you can go back and rewind the video to re-listen to them. Okay, so number 2.
Tu aimes l'anglais?
Oui, j'aime l'anglais.
And again.
Tu aimes l'anglais?
Oui, j'aime l'anglais.
So she asks, tu aimes l'anglais? And she answers, oui, j'aime l'anglais. So you write down the subject from your list that in French you think they've said, and the face. If you want to go back and listen to that again, you can. If you only got the opinion, that's great. Try and get both in each one, but at least get 1 thing in each question. Number 3.
Tu aimes le sport?
Non, je déteste le sport.
And again.
Tu aimes le sport?
Non, je déteste le sport.
So she asked, tu aimes le sport? Remember our silent letter on the end of that. And he said, non, je déteste le sport. Okay, number 4.
Tu aimes l'informatique?
Oui, j'aime l'informatique.
And again.
Tu aimes l'informatique?
Oui, j'aime l'informatique.
Okay, so saying that slower, she asks, tu aimes l'informatique?
Tu aimes l'informatique?
Oui, j'aime l'informatique.
And he replies, oui, j'aime l'informatique. Okay, question 5, 5.
Tu aimes le français?
Oui, j'adore le français.
And again.
Tu aimes le français?
Oui, j'adore le français.
So he asks, tu aimes le français? And he answers, oui, j'adore le français. Okay, question 6.
Tu aimes les maths?
Oui, j'aime les maths.
And again.
Tu aimes les maths?
Oui, j'aime les maths.
So she asks, tu aimes les maths? And he answers, oui, j'aime les maths. So make sure you are pausing between each question if you need the time to write anything down. You don't have to keep playing it through. I'm going on to question 7 now, but if you need to hear 6 again, you rewind it. Or if you need time to write it down, you pause it. So question 7.
Tu aimes les sciences?
Non, je n'aime pas les sciences.
And again.
Tu aimes les sciences?
Non, je n'aime pas les sciences.
So she asks, tu aimes les sciences? Tu aimes les sciences? And he says, non, je n'aime pas les sciences. Question 8, 8.
Tu aimes la géographie?
Oui, j'adore la géographie.
And again.
Tu aimes la géographie?
Oui, j'adore la géographie.
So, tu aimes la géographie? And she answers, oui, j'adore la géographie. Question 9.
Tu aimes le dessin?
Non, je déteste le dessin.
And again.
Tu aimes le dessin?
Non, je déteste le dessin.
So she asks, tu aimes le dessin? And he says, non, je déteste le dessin. And finalement, numéro 10.
Tu aimes l'histoire?
Oh non, je n'aime pas l'histoire.
And again.
Tu aimes l'histoire?
Oh non, je n'aime pas l'histoire.
So she asks, tu aimes l'histoire? And the answer is non, je n'aime pas l'histoire. Okay, so if there are any you need to hear again, rewind the video. Take your time to write down your answers. And when you're ready, replay the video to check your answers. Okay, so I'm going to put all the answers up now. If you have a different colour pen, if you're on paper, then mark them in a different colour pen, or you can insert, copy and paste a green tick from Google, or put a green dash or something to mark these, or write out the correct answer in a different colour. Okay, so you've got la musique, they didn't like it, l'anglais, like it, le sport, hate it, IT, informatique, they like it, le français, French, of course j'adore, love it, maths, they like it, science, don't like it, geography, they love it, le dessin, art, hate it, histoire, history, they don't like it. So pause if you need to continue marking, and then when you're ready, we'll finish off today's lesson. Okay, so by the end of today's lesson, we need to learn up to 12 school subjects. So pause the video now, turn your school subject sheet over, or hide your document, whatever it is you've been working on. See how many of the subjects you can call out in French. So pause and do that. Okay, now what I want you to do is look at the English you've written down and cover up the French. See how many more you can remember. Okay, and once you've done that, now cover up the English side, read the French and just call out the English, just to check you can recognise all of them. So hopefully we can recognise most of them. Maybe you forgot PSE or something when we cover up the English side, but when you cover up the French side, maybe there's about half of them you can recall, or 8 to 10 of them, and there's 1 or 2 we still need to learn. We'll continue revising them next lesson when we add on reasons, but hopefully as well we know a few of the 4 opinions. So call out I like. So that's j'aime, what's I don't like. Je n'aime pas, I hate. Je déteste, and I love is good, it's j'adore. Okay, so what you need to do now is wherever you've worked, save your work. Or if you've been working on paper, take a picture of your work, and you need to scroll down to the page where the video is and you will see add submission. Okay, so when you click on there, you can then drag across your document you've been working on or upload a photo. You could do this on your phone. You can go into Moodle on your phone to upload the photos of your work. So if you're not sure, on your Moodle, whenever there's an assignment, it should be here. So it says add submission. I click on there. This is a different lesson, this is a year 7 lesson, but it all works in exactly the same way. Then you can either drag and drop your file in, or I can just go to Files, click here, choose File, and then say it was, this was my lesson, say this was my work, this sheet here, then I'll just press Open, then upload this file, and then press Save Changes, and that will submit. Okay, so well done, Year 8. I look forward to seeing your work that you've been working on today. Now you can, if you have not done everything within the hour, if you still have time left, there is a subjects quiz and a couple of subjects worksheets that you can have a look at to improve on what we've learned today. Okay, au revoir, and I will see you next video lesson.